Hi there guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm going to be talking very briefly about a record that is really dear to my heart and a band that have gone under the radar for a lot of people over the last 30 odd years. Hi there guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to very briefly talk about, excuse me, no product, I've said it before, no product placement, but I live in hope. There's a band that were established in 1979. They released their first album in 1981. They were big on the Liverpool indie scene back in the day, and the band I'm talking about is Boya. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about with this album. If you've never listened to this, like Boya's debut, this is their debut album, this came out in 1981. If you've never listened to this, you owe it to yourself to listen to this. If you like post-punk, sort of jangly, thrash, guitar rock, this is going to be right up your street. I listen to this really a lot. This is such a good record. But let's talk about very briefly the band. At the time, Boya were made up, it was basically a band formed by Pete Wiley. And he had many different members during the formative years of Boya's existence. He ended up working with a bass player called Carl Washington, and the duo, and I will call them a duo because I honestly feel that Pete Wiley and Carl Washington worked well together, and they produced this album with some other musicians on drums and keyboards, etc. This is seriously good, and it is so overlooked by a lot of people. I've been playing this quite a bit over the last week or so. The track listing on it, this is the original pressing, by the way, from 1981. So let me show you the sleeve. This has got a really good retro sleeve. It's got flip backs, which is nice, really nice. Sort of a laminated, it's a laminated front, but it's matte on the back. And the track listing goes as follows. You've got The Wind Up, Other Boys, Why Do You Initiate, The Cutout, Mission Impossible, and Some Say. Then on the B-side, you've got The 7,000 Names of Boya, which is an absolutely phenomenal instrumental. Sleep, 7 Minutes to Midnight, which is another great song. And The Death of Boya, which it's just a brilliant song. The record itself is on the, I think it's a classic label, but it's a bit confusing because it says Eternal on the actual label. And this is in absolutely pristine condition. Now, if you're interested in buying this record, do yourself a favour and visit Discogs, because you can get a near mint copy of this record, near mint jacket, near mint record, for around about $10 to $15 stroke pounds. Get it while you can. And the reason I say that is because this year this record is getting a reissue. It's being remastered. It's going to be released on the Chrysalis label, and I have it on authority that it's going to be probably cut from digital files. How do I know this? I've got it from Pete Wiley. He told me about 6 months ago that this album was going to be reissued, remastered and reissued, but I couldn't say anything about it back then because it was still very, very much in its infancy. But it's now to a point where Pete is now spreading that news himself, so I feel it's only right that I bring that to you now. So Wah's debut album, Not equals Pooh minus the Art of Bluff, is coming out this year as a reissue, highly likely a CD, obviously, very likely a vinyl counterpart as well, I hope. I have not asked him what formats it's coming out on. I suspect it's going to be obviously CD. I'm hoping it's going to be vinyl. If they release a vinyl version of it, I intend to do a shootout between this OG and the reissue. All right, so just a recap, if you've never listened to this, I mean, most people know Wah from their hit from the sort of early to mid 80s, The Story of the Blues, which was a great song. It was actually the last song I think that Pete Wiley recorded with Carl Washington before Carl left, stopped working with Pete Wiley. But this, honestly, this is such a good record. It's brilliant. I mean, it is what it is. Do yourself a favour and check it out on Spotify. If it's there, I've not checked. I hope it is. But, yeah, Wah. Or the Mighty Wah as they became eventually. They started off as Shambiko Say Wah and Wah Heat, and they then settled on just Wah, exclamation mark, and eventually became the Mighty Wah. Pete Wiley still tours. I have suggested to him that when the reissue of this comes out, he should actually tour it and perform it in its entirety. I think he's up for that, which would be good. Yeah, Wah. Check them out. If you've never heard this album, like I say, get it off Discogs while you can, because at the moment it's dirt cheap. I suspect when the reissue comes out, these OGs are going to go up in price, I think, because people are going to realise just how damn good this record is. What a debut. Really, really good debut album. And I look forward to the reissue, and I look forward to doing a comparison between that and the reissue. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Thanks for your time.